is very, very important. At the time of Watergate, when the men were arrested at the Watergate Hotel, Martha Mitchell made the mistake, or did us a favor, by saying the Mafia is in the White House. For that, she was slapped on the bed, injected with a shot, and died of a painful cancer a few years later. The discussion of Noriega in Panama, the headlines read, Noriega sold out Panama. Noriega sold out his country to drug dealers, and I'll do more about Noriega and Panama next week. Noriega sold out his country to drug dealers, and what I'm saying and accusing this evening, and I can give you the sources and the documentation, and I've talked about it for a long time, is that our White House, our National Security Council, the people running this show, they sold out this country to drug dealers, also to the Waffen-SS, but to drug dealers. Now, last year on World Watchers, March the 2nd, 1987, that was about almost a year ago, this next month, broadcast number 795, and if you keep the bibliography sheets in chronological order, you will be able to reach this quickly. I hope when you collect them or save them, you do it that way. I had a program on why the White House Chief of Staff, Donald Reagan, had so much power in the White House, how he took control of the White House and the national security policies. And they were based on the drug connections of Merrill Lynch. Don Reagan was chairman of the brokerage house of Merrill Lynch, and he moved himself into Secretary of the Treasury and a Chief of Staff. And his connections to the drug traffic in Europe and the terrorism under the guise of anti-Soviet policy were the things that gave him this muscle. Now, I listed 15 reasons and connections of Merrill Lynch to the drug traffic. And if you send a self-addressed stamped envelope, I can send you this sheet. Number 13 was that Merrill Lynch Swiss accounts funded the Turkish Mafia. Their money transferred money, cash, to the Turkish Mafia. And this is from heroin sold in New York City and in the eastern part of the United States alone. That money deposited in the bank accounts, brokerage firm of Merrill Lynch and also E.F. Hutton, I'll get to that in a minute, funded Turkish Mafia boss Yasser Masalulu. Write that name down if you have a pencil. Yasser, and it's spelled M-A-S-U, Masu, then Lulu, and this is a Lulu of a story, L-L-U-L-U. It's a mass, big Lulu story. And a year ago, I said that Merrill Lynch was putting money into the account of Yasser Masalulu, and that Masalulu was linked to Ali Mehmet Ajah, the man who shot the Pope. I also listed the connections of them to Michael Ledeen of Iran-Contra fame, and also the shooting of the Pope, to Frank Turpel, who trained Ajah to shoot before he ended up at St. Peter's. Theodore Shackley, who was at Rome at the time, working with the Italian intelligence. The defendants in the Christic Institute, well, Theodore Shackley is one of the defendants. Frank Turpel was part of Stanford Technology Training Group. And what I said was that Merrill Lynch Swiss accounts went to Mr. Masalulu and were connected to the man who took a shot at the Pope. Now, a long listener to World Watchers, and he listens to David Emery and Niptek and their program at KFJC, gets Italian newspapers and translates them for us, and I've had some of the translations on the air.